Bitcoin values have surged above $106,000 to almost $107,000 this morning as we've broken bullish out of an inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've been talking about here on the chart. Today, I'm going to explain to you why Bitcoin's breaking out. I'm also going to explain to you some of the coins that are sleeping right now that you shouldn't be sleeping on. I'm going to tell you some of the things that we are doing right now to maximize our gains here in the cryptocurrency space, and we're going to talk about where Bitcoin goes over the rest of this bull market. Let's start with why Bitcoin's hitting $106,000 to $107,000. You see, Bitcoin hit $100,000 for the first time several weeks back in the end of November, and during the correction, we fell back below 100K for a little while. In fact, we fell back down to about $92,000, and in doing so, we created an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and that inverse head and shoulders pattern had a price target leading up to a level of resistance that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks, which was $107,000, which is exactly where we stand right now. You see, Bitcoin right now is in what we call an ascending trading channel. We've got an uptrending level of resistance just like this. The price is hitting its head on the resistance and rejecting off of it. We've got an uptrending level of support just like this, and the price is bouncing off of it, and we're in this channel that's slowly moving up and to the right. And the reason that that's so important is quite simply that this is the consolidation after Bitcoin rocketed from $70,000 to $99,600. We've seen this happen one time before. The last time that we saw this happen was in December of 2022 and January of 2023. I'm sorry, December of 2023 and January of 2024, earlier this year, when we originally rocketed up past $50,000 up to $73,000. But right there in the middle, right before the ETF got approved, we consolidated, but we consolidated while trending up. And after we did that, Bitcoin rallied another $30,000. In doing so, that was only the middle of the cycle. Because Bitcoin was consolidating and locking in gains, but still growing, we could see that the bulls were actually exceptionally strong at that time. And that's how we were able to say that while a correction was going to happen, the rally is probably not over, and Bitcoin ended up rallying again from a local high of about $40,000 or so, all the way up to an all-time high of $73,800. And something very similar is happening right now. We did have a big correction from 104 down to 92. That was about a 10% or so correction. And now we are continuing along in that upwards trajectory. Now, a lot of reasons for that. Number one, we've got the Federal Reserve talking about how Bitcoin is very different than gold. Number two, we've got Vladimir Putin saying, who can stop Bitcoin? No one. Number three, we've got Elon Musk, Michael Saylor, Paul Atkins, new chairman of the SEC coming in. We've got David Sachs, AI and cryptocurrency czar coming in under the new Trump administration. We've got Trump himself talking about crypto. We've got the United States federal government almost certainly going to be creating a United States strategic national reserve for Bitcoin. And we've also seen the exact same kind of talk coming out of Russia. We're almost certainly going to see the same thing happening with China within just a couple of years of the US and Russia doing so. European Union will likely follow, and before you know, you have the largest holders of Bitcoin the world over being nation states. And while you may not like that, you've got to realize what that's going to do to the price. The supply is going to stay the same. In fact, it's going to decrease because Bitcoin's being lost at all times, and the demand is going to absolutely moonshot because of the amount of not just institutional, but at this point, sovereign nation state investors. So Bitcoin is nowhere near done on this rally. In fact, we've had a prediction for a long time that it's going to go to 125 to 150 this bull market extremely conservatively, but more likely at this point, especially with these developments about a strategic national reserve, we're probably going to at least $200,000, if not higher. You've got a lot of very trustworthy, very reputable, good, solid technical analysts here in the space that are predicting upwards of an $800,000 Bitcoin in the next 12 to 18 months as a result of the strategic national reserve. And frankly, I could possibly see that happening if the United States does actually start acquiring Bitcoin in a major way. So what are we doing right now? And what are some of the sleepers? Well, what's interesting to me is that Bitcoin is rallying, and everybody sees that. But nobody's seeing what's happening on the altcoins. Ethereum is trading below $4,000. Big level of resistance. Once it breaks, Ethereum's going straight back to all-time high. That's going to be a 20% gain that you could be reaping if you have some Ethereum. Cardano, most likely, is going to rally back up to about 120, its current local level of resistance, and then it's going to break bullish, and it's going to rally up to probably $2, if not back to all-time high. That's a 200% return to get back to all-time high that you're going to be missing out on if you're not in Cardano. So what we're doing right now is we're saying, it's not just that Bitcoin's rallying. We have a big position of Bitcoin. It's also that Ethereum's about to rally, but it hasn't started yet. Cardano's about to rally, but it hasn't started yet. Solana's about to rally, but it hasn't started yet. XRP's about to rally, but it hasn't started yet. And so I'm not just looking at the current cycle, which is Bitcoin going on a moonshot rally. I'm also looking at what happens with the altcoins when they follow. Because because Bitcoin's going to reject it 107, 110, 115 somewhere soon. It's going to consolidate for 3 to 7 days. Once it does that, the momentum is not going to dry up. It's going to move. It's going to transition somewhere else. Where is it going to transition? Into the alts. And so those altcoins are going to do very well. So what we did this morning is we began strategically buying Cardano and Ethereum on a daily basis. And I put a lump sum into Cardano and Ethereum as well, because I believe that a big rally is coming soon on both of those coins. And that adds to our daily acquisition of Bitcoin. And so we are consistently daily acquiring both of these assets now on top of a Bitcoin for the long term. And that's where you're going to generate the real returns. Because if Bitcoin goes to 200, you're probably looking at Ethereum going to 8 to 9. If Bitcoin goes to 200, Ethereum goes to 8 to 9, you're probably looking at Cardano going $3 to $8, somewhere in that range. We just made a video on that last week. It's got like 55,000 views. Make sure to go watch that video. Some of you guys came to the channel from that video. Make sure to go back and watch that video if you haven't already. It's really good. And the most important thing that we can be doing right now is understanding that there's opportunity everywhere, and we don't want to miss it. So, a quick recap. We've got Bitcoin doing extremely well. It's hitting at 107. It's going to continue going higher. We've got Ethereum and Cardano about to do extremely well, but haven't started yet. You've also got a bunch of other coins, by the way. I mean, I could go down the list. Pretty much everything in the top 25, 30 is probably going to double in the next 6 months, 6 to 8 months, worst case scenario. So what we need to be doing right now is we need to go back to our laws of money. We've got 7 laws of money that happen all the time. I read an article the other day and said personal finance is hard because there's no hard and fast laws. I disagree with that. There are 7 hard and fast laws that we've got to follow if we want to succeed with money, no matter where we are, whether we're working in crypto or in stocks. And those really quickly are: number 1, it's not your money, it's God, so obey him. Number 2, choose to be financially sovereign, which means you control your wealth and you are its master, not the other way around. Number 3, we're going to live on less than we make. Number 4, we're going to have a written plan for our money. Number 5, we're going to stay out of debt. Number 6, we're going to save and invest for the future. Number 7, we're going to be radically generous. To the proportion with which you do those 7 things and you follow and obey those 7 laws, you will succeed with money. And so right now, I challenge you, if you're not in control of your wealth because you've got no idea where it's going into the car payment, it's going into the house, it's 5 times your income or something crazy. Like if you've got all your money's going into restaurants, all your money's going to this, all your money's going to that, you got to get that under control. Choose to be financially sovereign. Number 2, if you're living on more than you make, you've got 10,000 a month coming in, you've got 14,000 a month going out. You can't do that anymore. You got to cut expenses, increase income. Number 3, if you don't have a plan for your money, you got to get a budget, start now. Number 4, if you're in debt, pay that crap off. Maybe you need to sell some of the profits of your investments and pay off the debt so you're free, not just because it makes mathematical sense, but also because it makes spiritual sense. It'll make you sleep better at night, have a better, more stable life so you can think and actually generate some more wealth. Number 5, if we're not saving and investing, we need to start doing that. And number 6, if we're not being radically generous with our wealth, then what's the point of having it in the first place? I'm here to tell you, as somebody who's made multiple millions of dollars in my career, it was never the dollars that brought me joy. It was what I did with them, whether that was spending time with my family or whether that was blessing somebody that really genuinely needed help. And then after that, yeah, it's nice to buy some nice things for ourselves every once in a while. There's nothing really wrong with that, so long as we've got our priorities in order. Are you following the laws of money? Do you see what's coming with Bitcoin, and are you doing something about it right now? If not, join the Financial Sovereignty Academy. Links in the description box down below. We are here to help teach you guys how to succeed with finances in a holistic way, and I want to help you guys build a lot of wealth and use it for a lot of joy. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, stay tuned. Massive bull markets coming, both on Bitcoin and for our channel. Peace.